last meeting?
Sure.
I'll read them.
Oh, okay. Terry volunteered.
Sure. Terry, Leah, Janice, Paula, Michelle, Denise, Nita, and Jennifer. Absent Helen and Kate. The meeting began at 6:06. Terry made a motion with a second by Denise to accept the February 9th minutes as read. All in favor. Jen read the minutes from the special meeting held February 23rd in regards to the budget request from the town for fiscal year 2022. Terry made a motion with a second by Michelle to accept the minutes as amended. All in favor. Still waiting for the Board of Health to review the report on the ventilation system before the library can reopen. Also for the COVID numbers. Trends stay low. The 2022 budget was submitted February 24th. Alice Stewart's grandson contacted Lou Berry with a proposal of making a memorial garden on library grounds in her name using plants from her garden. February 5th, Lou, John Stewart, Jen, trustees, and friends did a walk around the property to scout out a possible location for the garden. It was determined that the west side of the library across from the children's garden would be the best location. Before anything can be done, approval will be needed from the town. A subcommittee has been established. Helen, Nita, Michelle, Mary, Janet Hartley, and Lou. Reminder of upcoming events via Zoom. Finding Easy Walks, March 11th at 6:30. Attracting Birds, Butterflies, and Other Beneficials with John Root, April 6th at 7. Book group starting back on April 8th. The book is No Ordinary Grace. Warrants. Terry made a motion with the second by Paula to accept warrants in the amount of $843.73. $2,612.77. All in favor. The next meeting will be April 13th, 2021. A motion was made by Denise with a second by Michelle at 6:34 to adjourn. All in favor, respectively submitted. Leah.
I see, I missed an N on Denise's name down there. Down there, a motion to adjourn by Denise.
I think
Is it two N's or one N?
No.
one N and an
Oh, it
E.
is one N. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I said I got it wrong. Oh, and with an E. Oh, dear. Okay. I fixed it.
All right.
One N and with an E.
Yeah, and
And
we're the present list too. You've got Dennis Conti instead of Denise.
Yeah, up at the top, yeah.
Yep.
Two places or more than one,
Top and bottom.
yeah, okay, I got it.
And I have one correction.
Okay.
The title of the book for book group was Ordinary Grace.
Oh,
That might have been
no.
my mistake from last month, but
Okay,
just
so
Ordinary Grace.
no.
No.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, no. The other thing I was gonna mention is the warrants. Was Janice Cook able to sign the warrants, or were you signing them?
I did.
Okay, so we might want to mention that.
All right.
How had you worded it before? What a motion made?
To have Jen sign the warrants.
Authorizing Jen to sign the warrants as presented.
Okay. Okay, I'll add it.
Did anybody else see anything for the minutes?
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as amended.
Okay. A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, and so Jen, you wanna do your director report?
Yes. So for our building update, I don't have a whole lot going on. We are waiting on new door hardware. So that will be installed as soon as it's ready. That'll be something coming up. Very excited for that. We've been having such a hard time with our doors, not closing properly, not latching properly. It's just been a mess. Or our cleaners coming in on Saturday and having the cops called because they tripped the alarm by accident. It's just been a mess. So it'll be lovely to have that done, especially before we talk about reopening, to have some brand new door hardware so our doors will open properly. That would be great. As far as the library operations and the reopening update, I have sent a formal request to the Board of Health and Chris Martin to have them consider reopening the library for limited browsing. The staff will be fully vaccinated in May, so that's a positive. And we'll be pretty much ready probably a few weeks after that, once we have to move a lot of furniture and put a lot of directionals down and do a lot of preparation for reopening. But I do have a plan in place, and I did send that. I don't know if you all saw my email, but we have a very long-winded welcome back kind of policy for our patrons that will, once it's finalized, the go ahead, that'll go up on our website for people's information. My initial plan is to do browsing appointments. So people would have to call to schedule an appointment for a 20-minute browsing session, which gives us 10 minutes to clean and sanitize for the next people to come in. So every half hour, we'd be letting some people in the building. And for computer usage, I was going to do 50 minutes. I thought that was pretty fair, which would also give us 10 minutes to clean and prep for the next person if they're coming every hour.
Or did you say 50 or 15?
50.
Okay.
And of course, if no one's waiting, they're welcome to stay longer. He just got attacked by a cat. Just a little drive-by.
Thought you had a mustache there for a minute.
If it's not the kid, it's the cat. It's like one thing or the other. I can't even. So distracting. So what I'm thinking are for the hours for that initially to do from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. That gives us a few hours to get in the building, get everything prepped. We still will be running curbside, so it's going to be a lot of work. We're going to have to prep all the curbside and do all the deliveries and the book returns and the quarantining, and then open for people to come in. So I thought 11 would be fair. I usually get in around 8:30, so that'll give us time to do all the prepping. And then 3 p.m. to start, just to see how it goes and give ourselves some time at the end of the day to prep for the next day. And seems pretty similar to what a lot of other libraries are doing. They're doing a couple days a week for, shorter amounts of time, which I think just gives everybody time to get ready, prepare, get used to the new norm. It's going to be a lot of, cleaning up after people. If people touch books, we have to quarantine them for 24 hours. So we'll be, moving bins of quarantine items in between people leaving. And it's definitely going to be a change for us, a little extra work.
Jen, is that because of the CDC has different guidelines? Is that why?
Yes. I'm actually running off of the safety standards and checklist for libraries from mass.gov. So I'm kind of doing, it's been updated. It was updated as of March 1st. So I'm kind of using their guidelines to help us figure out exactly the right things to do. The quarantine period has dropped to 24 hours, so that's a positive. And a couple of studies have come out recently, kind of stating from the CDC, stating that the transmission from items and surfaces is really low. So that, gives us a little bit more of a safeguard, makes us feel a little better about
It's good news.
what we're
Yeah.
doing.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was like 1 in 10,000 chance of getting it from an item that has virus on it. So really good numbers, which, if we figure 24-hour is a pretty cautionary, just to be on the safe side, put everything aside for 24 hours and then put it back on the shelf for people.
Are there other libraries open yet?
There are some. I know Ludlow has been open for appointments. West Springfield is open limited for appointments.
Open, I think.
I don't want to be wrong, but quite a few around. I know Belchertown isn't yet, and South Hadley isn't yet, but I believe they're working on a plan also. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable about the timing of this, maybe mid-May, if all depends on the Board of Health and, how they feel about it. But I've submitted to them, my preliminary plan and told them I would be happy to attend a meeting if they would like me to, present it or discuss it with them, everything we're going to do for safety. And just keep the curbside going, because a lot of people probably won't be comfortable coming in yet. We're happy to do that. It works out really well. We've got a good system going. Sometimes I feel like a takeout delivery person where I'm like, order up, and got the books and got the little paper bags, and but people have been loving it. And a lot of people request that we bring them out to their car for them. So if they're not comfortable, coming into the lobby, they're definitely not comfortable coming into the building yet. So we're happy to kind of accommodate a wide range of, people's comfort levels with everything. And I have also requested that they consider us doing some outdoor programming on a small scale starting in the summertime. So maybe in June, when we start revving up for our summer reading program. The Collaborative for Education has asked if they could do some small programs out in our reading garden for the kids. So we'll see what they say about that. Also, if they allow that, that would be wonderful to at least get people back to some kind of normalcy here at the library.
What about volunteers? Are volunteers able to go in and help yet
Not yet. I'm waiting on that also.
from the Board of Health?
Which, yeah, I'm going to probably have to get the Select Board and the Board of Health's approval on that, only because it could be a liability issue for the town. So I'm not really sure about that one quite yet. And they probably would have to be over 18 and completely vaccinated if they are going to help out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Maybe one at a time kind of a deal. But
How about
luckily we have 3 full-time staff now, so at least that will make the operations go easier.
How about having gloves, having the patrons wear gloves, the rubber gloves, plastic gloves? Then that way that would cut down on a lot of work for you guys.
It would. The only problem with that is then the supply issue of who's going to supply them, who's going to pay for them, how many are we going to go
supply
through?
them.
You'll supply them?
I'll get you a bunch.
Okay.
It's so nice.
I mean, we can definitely, that was one thing we had thought about, but then I was like, okay, well, am I going to be able to get enough supplies for that? What if we run through them really quickly? But that would cut down on the issue of having to quarantine everything people touch.
Yeah, I mean, because that's going to, you're not going to be, people are not, when you're browsing looking for a book, you touch an awful lot of books.
Yeah.
And how can you keep up with that?
It's a
can't.
problem. It really is. I mean,
Yeah.
we have
You
a lot of
can't.
libraries that
And-
do.
And if you tell them, well, don't put it back on the shelf, put them, somewhere, I think, did you say somewhere in there, put them in a bin?
Yeah, we would have like
And then
quarantine
you would
bins.
put them, so, I mean, with the gloves, you would, all that would go away.
Right, they touch it, put it back.
Yeah,
and-
they can, yeah, and I mean, because it's something you do naturally. You pull a book down, you look at it, and you put it back.
No, you take it home. You take them all home.
How are you going to know where the browser has been?
That's right.
That's another thing. It's going to be a lot of, us taking people's word for it. Us,
Or you're going to follow them?
kind of, I know, it's like, I don't want to
Yeah, I
follow
know it.
people around and be like, time, 20 minutes. And
I
did you
know,
touch
yeah.
that? Did you touch that?
I mean,
Um,
that's
let
almost
me-
an impossible task,
I'll get you some gloves. I'll
yeah, we
get
can
some
definitely,
gloves.
that was also an option
I mean,
that
do
I
you
had talked to
want
Chris Martin about. Yeah, definitely.
to? Okay.
No,
Yeah.
things, like when we go to the grocery store, we do look at things and we do pick them up and we read labels. And we put things back and,
Yeah, all the time.
most things aren't quarantined. So
Yeah, that's a big topic of conversation, between directors. These Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners safety guidelines do say that anything touched in the building needs to go into quarantine for 24 hours. But if we, excuse me, introduce the idea of having gloves, that would definitely cut that
Yeah,
out. And there are some libraries that do that, and then some libraries that just quarantine everything.
And they're saying even to quarantine after hand sanitizer.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
if the people are made to hand sanitize their hands, like upon entry of the building, they still
Yeah.
want like stuff quarantined.
They do. I know it's kind of like a catch-22. Like you can't like follow them around and see like, well, after they
Well,
sanitize
yeah.
their hands, did then they like itch their eye? Did they touch their nose?
Yeah.
How
It's
about
so
space
hard.
suits? Maybe we could get some space.
Yes. It's so much to think about. I've definitely, like, me and the other directors have mulled this over so much, and it's really kind of crazy because there aren't really solid guidelines. Like the state is giving us somewhat guidelines, but they're not saying you have to do this, you have to do that. Every community is kind of up to, their own Board of Health's permission and approval, and how we, all decide we want to do it, which is interesting. It's, kind of like everyone for themselves.
I think you've handled it well, Jen, very well.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's been, a lot, and you just have to kind of decide what works best for your own space and community. Like we know our community and what people will be happy with. I think people will just be happy to come back in our doors and walk around and look at all the new books, because I have so many new books.
And
No.
see you guys, the staff.
Yes, that too. I know I had to put a little snippet in our patron narrative that I made, just saying that we've really missed you, but unfortunately we can't have prolonged conversations just yet. We have to kind of keep everything short and sweet, which is kind of sad, but it'll be nice to see everyone. And
In that letter, Jen, should you mention something about restrooms, whether they'll be open or not? Because I'm sure.
Yes.
Good
Yeah.
question.
that is something I have to
Good question.
smooth over with the Board of Health. But at this point, I think it's going to be a use at your own risk. The restrooms are cleaned once a day. And I think we just have to let people know that if you do want to use our restrooms, it's only cleaned once a day. It's kind of use at your own risk, but I'll definitely be running that over with them and make sure that they're on board with that too. Get their opinion on the situation. I think we'll be the first building in town to open to the public. So
Wow.
if it's allowed, we,
Oh,
I have to sit tight and see. I sent my request in today, this morning. So Colleen said she would forward it over and that they'd be contacting me. So
you said mid-May-ish, if we're lucky.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna need at least a couple weeks to get everything cleaned and prepared. And, like we have so much stuff that's out that, you wouldn't think of that, oh, people could be touching that and people might touch this. And, we've got,
Oh, but they're going to have,
games.
but they're going to have gloves on.
right? They will have gloves on. But we don't want anyone sticking around and playing chess or,
Oh, well, no.
checkers or
Right.
anything. So we've got to move all that. We have
Oh,
to move
yeah.
all the furniture out. We
Maybe
have to
put a
discourage
bin.
people from sitting.
Yeah, put an empty bin like near the door when they leave.
Yes.
Take the gloves
right?
off.
Yeah.
That too. And I've planned to have one computer on each end of the adult computer area, because we have so many computers that would be plenty of distance, and just close the middle ones. And probably have the teen room and the children's room computers just not working for the beginning. Just have people using the computers out in the main hall for the time being. So there's more room for people to distance that way. What else? What else?
I was in Deals and Steals the other day, and as you walk in the door, you can't get in the store unless you put on a pair of plastic gloves
Really?
that they supply. You cannot wear your own. You have to wear their gloves.
Yeah.
Huh.
No. Yeah.
That makes
Where-
sense. I know it's like I said, everyone is doing it differently. It's weird, but yeah, I mean, you go to the grocery store and it's kind of like you're using it at your own risk, and there has to be a little bit of, we're going to make it as safe as possible, but we can't be perfect. So there's going to be those things that we say, well, what if we don't wear gloves, or what if we quarantine, or what if it's not long enough? Like,
We just
we're
want
all
you
so-
guys to be safe. We want you guys working there to be safe too.
That's why I figured we wait until everyone was completely vaccinated, and we've waited this long, so we might as well make sure everyone's vaxxed and ready, and
If they
feeling
ever
a little
call
more
me.
comfortable about having people in the building. Because we have that issue with our door, excuse me, where people have let themselves into the building, and it's kind of like a shocking moment for the staff. We're like, oh my gosh, like there's a person in here. Like, could you imagine? We went from having like 200 people a day in our door to, oh my God, there's a man in the building. Like, what do we do? So there's a little bit of that, just like, what do we do?
We'll solve
it's
that
like
problem
just
from that other guy hanging out, right?
Yeah. Right. I know. So it'll be take a little bit of getting used to. So I think like starting off slow and kind of gradually getting ourselves, if we see that the appointments are running smoothly and people don't we're not filling up all the slots, and we can kind of just let people in when they come in, then we can talk about maybe getting a little more lenient on the appointments and just kind of letting people come in as they come. Some libraries say that works for them. Other libraries say they need to have the appointments, otherwise it'll be a zoo. So I think it's kind of trial and error. We'll start with this if we're given permission, and see how it goes from there. And I'm sorry.
Your cat?
Hungry.
She's already been fed. Don't listen to her. She's already had dinner. Very mouthy.
Adorable. That's adorable.
Yeah, I know. Having meetings at home has been an interesting
She
experience.
Zoom bombed.
Yeah, she does. You should have seen her on book group. She let me pick her up, and I held her so everyone could see her, and she just laid there and just like looked at the screen like, what is this going on? Look at these people.
Where are all these voices coming from?
Oh, mommy's computer. It's like the Brady Bunch. But does anyone else have questions about the plan so far?
I just know people are anxious to come back in. That I can tell you.
No, I went to CVS the other day and I had 3 people stop me. Even though the woman working in the pharmacy asked me when we were going to open again.
Oh, wow.
So it's,
I
it's
had
nice
somebody
to hear we're loved.
I had somebody ask me when it was going to be opening, because I guess the library and the school's open, and the child ended up getting home, and the mother says, well, where did you get that? And they said that the library and the school's open and we can just get the books. So then they were like, so when's the real library? I mean,
I know. Well, that's the thing with
library
school
open.
being open now full time.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, okay, well, the kids can go back to school. What about the library? And, I agree on a small scale. I think, let's try it. If we get permission from the town, I think we absolutely should give it a shot. And moving in the right direction. But all of this is just a rough draft, as like I said, it's definitely subject to change. If anything doesn't work for us, we can just try a different way, or just revise it as we go.
Yep.
So
Okay.
Jen, the Board of Health, do they have to also give the okay on the building itself, wasn't there like ventilation issues or something?
Yeah, I'm hoping they'll get back to me on that, because I haven't heard anything about that. So
Okay.
they'll definitely let us know if we're good to go that way too.
And what about the conversion from the winter to the air conditioning, or has that not happened yet?
Hasn't happened yet. I'm
Okay.
thinking probably at least a few more weeks, especially seeing as somebody said it might snow on Thursday.
That was me.
With you, with you, Katie.
So hopefully a couple weeks out before we have to worry about that. But we'll see what the report comes back for our ventilation, and I'm hoping that no news is good news, but we will see.
Should be okay. The building's not old, you know?
You know, it's not. We've had a lot of issues with our HVAC system, but hopefully that doesn't hinder us. Everything's been, knock on wood, working well. So okay. So if no one else has questions about that, I will move on to the landscaping project. I did send the letter to the select board, making them aware of our intention to create a garden in memory of Alice Stewart. We currently have $420 raised in memory of Alice that the Friends have agreed to use toward the project. So I told them to please let me know if they had any questions or concerns. And I'm sure once we get a draft of, you know, what the plan is going to look like, I will send it over to them, keep them in the loop as well.
If it exceeds the $420 for the landscaping, then
we
beg.
would fundraise.
No.
do more fundraising.
Yes.
The landscaping funds that we have would not be able to be used for that? Towards that at
would
all?
be a trustee decision for sure.
Okay.
If it's something that you know, everyone feels comfortable with, that's something we can explore too, because the funding is there for furniture, furnishings, and landscaping. So
Okay, so I think Nita and I maybe should talk a little bit more about what has happened. I guess we met again. We met with Janet Hartley and Nita and myself. And we decided, there was a few other people, I can't remember who. But we did, you know, after Janet looked at the proposed location of Alice's garden, it was in the trying to think what that word is. It wasn't in a good place. It was like in a gully, which was not a good place to plant anything. So we decided that we would move past where the fence is. It would be in the behind the building. If that makes sense. If you were to open the fence that's there and just keep going back there, that seemed to be a better place. I mean, you know, everything's subject to change, but I think we decided that was the best place to continue, you know, the environment that we were trying to create, another like peaceful place to reflect and sit and possibly have other memorial ideas and thoughts. I said, if, you know, when my time comes, I wouldn't mind having a tree planted in my honor there. So I think we're thinking bigger instead of smaller. So that's kind of the direction we're heading. So we're all kind of confused as to who was going to do what. So I thought for sure at this point, Lou had offered to do fundraising, I guess not fundraising, but more of reaching out to people to help with memorial gifts in honor of Alice in order to, you know, complete this garden. We thought we'd go bigger than smaller because, you know, really we wouldn't have that building there in the first place if it weren't for Alice and her generosity in donating the land. So we've determined what we were moving, actually Lou made some, Lou went over there and he took like there's a water bubbler, and he's going to convert it from electric to solar. So he's already got that. And he also took what else was there? A couple other things that were there.
There's also a sundial, and he wanted to put some solar lights for at night, so it's so you can see it at night.
Yeah,
also.
thanks, Nita. Anything else I forgot?
From her place, a couple of different plants. I think Mamani plants and some daffodils.
Yeah,
that's about it.
So I guess the properties might be sold. So, you know, we're gonna have to move stuff if we don't get to complete the memorial garden before then. What else was there? So yeah, Lou offered to raise more funds towards the project. I don't know. And I had a call from Janet the other day, and she was waiting to hear from us, but now she's starting to sketch her ideas and trying to put it into, you know, fruition. So
Great.
Hopefully things will happen sooner than later.
So is there going to be access? Because you said it was beyond the fence in the back.
I think you just open the fence and you can go out there.
Oh, there's an opening over
Mhm.
back there? For the
Yes.
fence?
Yeah, near the dinosaur, that way.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
past the dinosaur.
I never knew that.
I didn't
Okay.
know there was a gate there.
Yeah, the little
Yeah.
reading garden area.
But
Huh.
it seemed like it would be a good place to just sit back there and reflect, you know, and if it's a memorial garden, it's a beautiful spot. We saw like a raccoon there the other day. We were out there. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, see all kinds of stuff back there.
definitely.
Mhm.
So that's what we were thinking. So I guess do we need the trustees' approval for this?
Well, I
Didn't
would
we already
say,
vote on this last time?
We didn't vote on this last
didn't?
time. I guess we were trying to find out what it was gonna entail before we ended up voting on it. And I was under the impression that we were gonna need to vote on it.
Okay.
But I think we also have to wait on the select board, don't we? Or do we vote on it and then we see about approval from the select board?
I think it's our project. I think we should be able to vote for it.
Yeah, I would say.
You know, I looked back at the last garden project we had, and it was $5,000, and that was a big project. We had all those areas subdivided, and the peat pot there. So I don't think it's going to be as big as that.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
Do we know
Like
how
an-
soon, Janet is going to come up with a plan?
You know, I spoke to her
Did
this
you give you
week,
any
and
idea?
it sounds like she's like I said, she was kind of waiting for the go ahead from us, and we were all kind of like waiting for the next person to make a decision. But she's going to start working on it. She's going to start sketching it. So I would say pretty soon.
Okay, cool, good.
So we should have somebody make a motion to
no, I think we still need to wait for a plan, don't we?
I think we need to have the go ahead, the authority to go ahead with this plan. I think.
And if it's, if the select board needs to be, if we need to get an okay from them, we gotta wait for that. We gotta make sure we have that.
So
And
we
the-
we
and
need their
then-
approval because they be the ones that do the upkeep on the garden, or
They're not gonna do
No.
upkeep on the garden.
so when we just need Jen's approval because she's the library director. I'm just not sure why we need the select board's approval for this. I don't know. I'm just wondering why we need it.
Well, maybe we don't.
Well, I mean, technically the building and grounds, you know, belong to the town, and we're a town owned building, even though the trustees oversee it. So it's just, I think, more of a courtesy to get them involved and let them know what we're doing and keep everyone in the loop. And I told them if they had any questions to please feel free to reach out.
And maybe a sketch, Jen, just a little sketch to let them know like where things are gonna be. So
Yeah,
it's consistent
definitely.
all the
Just
way
to make
through.
sure that there are no maintenance issues or concerns or, any of that. So I'd just like to cover ourselves, make sure we're keeping everyone in the loop and keeping everyone happy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Trying to.
Right.
So I thought that we should have at least voted on it last month when we were talking about it, because, to get the ball rolling,
Right.
because people have already started making plans, but we haven't actually voted on it to, continue
Approve
with
it.
the plans.
Yeah, to
So
approve it.
that's
Yeah.
why I feel like we should make a motion tonight to create the landscaping in honor of Alice Stewart behind the library.
Are you making the motion, Paula?
Am I able to make a motion?
think you
with
are.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
okay, I'll make a motion to create the landscaping in honor and memory of Alice Stewart behind the library.
I'll
Garden.
second it.
You want to say something about garden?
Okay,
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay, you'll second it. Okay.
Yeah.
and you're putting something in there about the garden, Helen?
Yes, Paula made a motion in honor of Alice Stewart and in memory of a garden behind
In honor means she's still
library?
alive.
Alice Stewart Memorial Garden.
Yeah, because in honor
Alice-
means she's still alive when you say it like that.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. So
Memory.
in memory garden behind the library. Alice Stewart Memorial Garden.
Memorial Garden.
Okay.
Oh, all right. I like the name of just Alice's Garden.
Me
I
too.
like
Yeah,
that
that's
too.
nice.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing too, Janet Hartley's daughter had passed away unexpectedly 2 years ago at the age of 25. And we have a memorial piece that we were going to put in the garden somewhere. Jen, I'm sure you know where it is. But we had also agreed at that time to plant a tree. And I just want to say that Janet wasn't ready to respond or to do anything at that time. So I think we were hoping that she would feel comfortable doing that at this time in honor of her daughter. So it'll be a combination memorial garden, and perhaps, for the rest of us, if once our time comes, we might have our family members buy a bench or a tree or something like that.
I would like to do something in memory of my son.
That would be lovely.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that would be nice.
Well, I just lost you all for like 5 minutes.
I
don't
wondered
know
where you went. I thought you're blowing us off.
I lost my connection. I don't know why. And then I messed around and it finally came back on. I don't know.
Oh,
Something.
Denise, you came back just in time for us to say all in favor.
Yes.
For the
Aye.
memorial.
Aye.
You did
So,
that.
all in favor. Aye.
What are you doing?
We were voting on the
Alice's Garden.
Alice's Garden, Memorial Garden for Alice Stewart. So,
So all in favor, right?
Yes.
all in favor. I think everybody said aye.
Okay, awesome.
All in favor.
Hmm.
So is there anything else about the garden that we still need to discuss?
Nita, what else do you remember?
I think you covered everything, Helen. They did talk about like if we're gonna need to move those rocks from the back, and if we would need help in some way, or if we could just do it with volunteers.
Right,
Get volunteers to buy the mulch, or like you said, we're gonna have some money anyways. There's already some money set aside, I think, by the friends.
I think the good thing that is happening is that we have Lou Berry on our side, and he has access to, he's got a great relationship with people in the town, and he already has somebody, I think Dave is gonna move the
Yeah.
table, the rock table, and he's gonna get the Boy Scouts to come out and help move
Aw.
the rocks. So
That's wonderful.
we're lucky in that respect.
Yeah, he'll probably pretty much do everything once we have the, and once Jenna and everyone else said it's fine to go.
Yeah.
This is the only free time I get, by the way. So if I act a little silly, I'm sorry. My head's usually in the book or the computer studying.
Nice to see you, Kate.
I've missed you guys. I
Yes.
really have.
We've missed you too.
Missed you too. Okay, so next is the warrants.
Yes. Okay, so I just emailed you my report, Helen, so you'll have this. You don't have to write it down.
Okay.
Let's see here. So 2 warrants, one in the amount of $1,473.23. This one's for Baker and Taylor, Blackstone Publishing, and Ingram Entertainment. And the second one is for $1,326.27 for Fire Detection Systems, Interactive Sciences, Baker and Taylor, and Blackstone Publishing again.
Okay, so does anyone want to make a motion to authorize Jen to sign the warrants?
I'll make a motion to have Jen sign the warrants as read to us or as indicated.
I second.
I'll second it.
Oh. 2 seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And so what we have left is if there's anything to be discussed. Any other things to be discussed?
I just have a question. This is nothing really to do, but I keep getting letters from this media person in Granby to do with the voting and being a trustee. I don't know if Terry received anything like that. And you can go on Zoom, which I forget because I'm losing you guys half the time.
Oh, that's Alex.
It's from Alex.
Alex is saying, that's me.
So what is that? I don't even know what it's all about.
Okay, Alex, you gotta speak now.
He's on mute, so.
Can you hear me?
He must, because he put in, there he is. He's up.
Yay.
That's okay. I'll pass probably. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
I did have something. I was at the town hall the other day and Kathy, is it Kelly Regan?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so she was asking me if any of us knew someone who is going to take the 1-year term that's open for the library trustees. I didn't know if anybody had anybody in mind. After talking to her, she had said, you know, maybe I could bring this up at our meeting.
Yes, we had Candace Ribeiro has expressed interest. She was at our last meeting. She was unable to come to this one, but she
Oh.
is definitely interested in being a write-in.
So she is a definite.
Yeah, I
So
think we're good.
we're all planning on writing her in when we go and vote.
Yep.
Yes.
I've been working on her for years.
Excited.
Because I do remember that from last month's meeting, but because she wasn't at the meeting, I wasn't sure if she was still interested in it. Okay,
Yes.
that's all.
She wasn't able to make this one, but she has been asked to be kept in the loop. So
Okay.
So
All right.
didn't,
So I don't know if Kathy at the town hall had her in mind, or
Is it because she's
So-
a write-in? Is that why? Because she's a write-in?
what was Candace's name Gagnon and all?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, all right, so she ended up, okay, that's what that she called her Candace Gagnon.
Yes.
Okay.
okay. Great.
Denise, that means you're taking a 3-year term then?
It would appear to be that way.
Did
I
you see?
All and ended up with 3 years.
Well, we're happy to have you. Did you see the trustee orientation email?
I did, yes. So that's a Zoom thing, right?
I didn't read it, but
I think they all are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because I might
It makes
do
it
that.
easy to attend.
yeah.
Yeah, that my thing keeps going off here. I don't know. Does no one else keep losing?
Mm-mm.
No.
Sometimes I
their
do.
I do sometime.
Yours
Wherever-
has too?
Yeah, yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're closer to your router, you'll have better.
Oh, well, I'm looking at it.
Oh, so it doesn't even matter, huh? Jen,
No,
did-
I think it's a
I
connection or
thought
something.
you said there's something wrong with the internet. Oh, there is, Andrea? Yeah, there's some.
Tower, T-Mobile tower isn't working. I can't
Oh.
get calls.
Oh,
So I've got the light.
okay, so we're
That'll
all
do
messed
it.
up. Yeah, the T-Mobile tower is not working here. So we're all messed up. That's why you keep going away.
Oh.
Oh, there's
That makes
my dog.
sense.
I wanted to ask about the ethics thing. Don't we have to take the ethics thing every so often?
I believe it's every couple of years, but I will double check. I haven't received any requests for us to be doing it, but I can definitely check.
I'm glad.
Like that you're on the ball.
I have to do it for work too. Ugh.
You know, you have to
What
do
is-
it for
what
each
did I
individual
miss
thing.
there?
Oh, look at that one. That's so cute. What a sweetie.
Aw.
Lily.
Aw.
Lily.
Front and center.
Oh, Lord. Where's your cat? She'll go after your cat through the.
I know, I was
street.
gonna say, I don't see her. She ate her dinner and then she ran.
She ran away.
Yep, she went to take a nap
I
somewhere.
was- Eat and nap because I was just gonna say.
Yeah, she lives the life,
Tough
really.
life.
Yeah, that's tough for her.
Yeah, I noticed she wasn't crying anymore.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because she'll just be, you know, all over me, and then the second she eats, she disappears and I don't see her again. Imagine being that happy. Just feed me and I'll leave you alone. But anyhow,
Okay,
I'll make a
So-
motion to adjourn.
yeah, so our next meeting is May 11th. And so Leah, you made a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Yes.
She's ready.
Want to second it?
I'll second